Forget that. For you in a bit. So yes, Charles, as you're saying, the two teams are out into the middle. Windward Island Volcanoes now preparing to respond to the 179, chasing a target of 180. And I believe it's Captain Melius out there. We'll try to get the player who has stat number 45 on his shirt for the Windward Islands. But meantime, Nepal, they're in the middle. And looks as if it's going to be Bohara to get things going from the southern end here at the Park Hill playing field. So Milius and Ogis.
Milius and Ogis.
Right.
Akim Ogis.
The two openers for the Windward Islands Volcanoes as Bohara. That number 10 shirt just picking up that white ball and making sure that his mark is fully in place. And will soon break into his stride to bowl this the first delivery of the Windward Islands response, chasing a target of 180. And doesn't seem as if he's quite ready. There's just one or two little adjustments being made. Captain Padel is close by, not on screen, but pretty much close by in a mid-off position.
It looks like Sampal, who is going to pick it up from this other end.
So Grace is in. And this one is played down into that shot. Well, more or less in a gully position almost, and the run off the bat. So the Windward Islands yet to get off the mark. So there you see Nepal 179 for 9, and the Volcanoes chasing a target of 180. This delivery. Wellness walks it off his pads, and player there in that short mid position slipped in the process and giving away 2 runs and some scrappy work in the field by Nepal.
Very scrappy work very early in the innings, and easy what should have been an easy single. He gave away that extra run. So Melius is off the mark. That would do his confidence a world of good, and no batter likes to be a knot. And he would have to lead from the front for the Windward Island Volcanoes, try to get up to 180.
So back at the top of his run, and now turns. Race is in. And this one outside the off stump and cracked down to that third man position, but the third man well in place, well in behind it.
Ogis comes in to strike for the very first time. So there's a left-hand, right-hand combination here for Windward Island Volcanoes, and this could be a little problematic sometimes for some bowlers, because you do have to change your line to the left and right hand combination, and if you're not really on top of your game, you can find yourself under some pressure.
So Ogis settles. And ball that is worked into the onside. And again, you see that misfield, Captain Padel this time around. And that is something that the Nepalese team will certainly need to work on, and work on very quickly if they would want to restrict the Windward Islands from achieving that target.
Well, I think that single was a bit risky. Had he picked it up cleanly, I think Ogis could have found himself in some trouble. But in the end, he got in very safely. because not seeing the Nepalese picking up the ball. I think they're creating the Cardinals enough taking their eye off the ball at the last minute.
This one, Melius plays it neatly off his pass to that deep square leg position. And just one more added to the total. Hydro coming in, but the wicketkeeper looking quite athletic, plucking it out of the air, goalkeeper style. And just one more added. It's 5 now for the loss of no wicket in this. The first over being bowled by Sampal. Windward Island Volcanoes chasing a target of 180. And of course, Captain Rohit Patel leading from the front for the Nepalese. Sampal, what should be the final delivery of this first over, down the leg side, and this is a wide. And they take a run in the process, so that's 2 more added to the total. And the delivery certainly that has to be rebowled. Wide now being signaled there. So 7 without loss. And Sampal, fairly good first over, keeping the batsmen in check apart from that wide delivery just a while ago. And this time we'll be bowling to Melius. Outside the off stump and driven square. Good piece of work there by, looks like Irie. And no run taken. That's the end of the first over. 7 from the first, and fairly good start there from Nepal.
Yeah, I think a pretty good start indeed, but Melius would just have to just look to place the ball a little better. I think he was looking to hit it too hard, and in the end hitting it straight to a fielders rather than just delaying the shot a bit and looking for the gap. Had opportunities to do a bit of scoring, but that's how it is.
Well, it was outside the off stump and it sat up, got back to ball, but as you said, really and truly should have looked to go on between that point and gully field, or even a little bit more to the right of the point there. And no run resulting. But we're going to have the second over of this 20 as a nice breeze continue to flow into our commentary position. And picking up the attack, looks like, is it Prakash? Comes in now to bowl to Agis, and on that he works into the onside, mid on in position, not a problem.
Ogis had been timing the ball well. He'd been striking it very well, but hitting it thus far straight to the fielder.
And let's take wind, doing a bit there with the bail. Batsman immediately realizing it, had to pull out. So practice it is from the hills here at Park Hill. Races past umpire Butler. This wasn't driven. Again, well driven, but finding the fielder in that short, well, mid-off position.
Well, again, we see the fielder not picking it up. It was hit very firmly indeed, and Ogis was still looking for that single. And again, it was Captain Padel, the guilty offender.
Well, again, it's an area that's Nepal, as they prepare for World Cup 2024, T20 World Cup, that they'll need to certainly work on. In this game, 1 run can determine the difference between winning and losing. And if you give them away in the field, they certainly will pay in the end. As there's Captain Melius as Pratis now comes in. And down the leg side, that should have taken something because there's no signal there from the umpire.
Maybe brushing the pad on its way through.
So
the keeper standing up, and good take down the leg side. Remove the bail, but the batter foot was grounded.
Well, we've seen three deliveries thus far in this over, just 1 run. And Melius and Ogis will probably want to get things going. Outside the off stump,
Beautifully
nice
played,
flowing
man.
off drive, square the wicket. Oh, lovely runs into the backward point fence, Charlo.
That was sweet. The sound of the bat, the placement, it's about everything about that shot was perfect. And Melius really showing his class.
So, boundary there to the Windward Islands Volcanoes skipper, Kimanu Melius, quite a young cricketer. And it's good to see him being given the opportunity to lead at this level as a practice. So, coming once again. And down the leg side is a loud appeal.
Well, umpire says not out, but I was looking at that back leg. I was very close to the line. Let's see. Down the leg side. Good. So very, I think he might have been lucky there. Just had a little bit behind that line. And umpire Afran Bayan in perfect position. He said not out. And Melius lives to fight on. Again, that's into the pads. And a single. Airy coming through, not picking up. Again, that single. A leg by signal by umpire Butler. The over comes to an end. So it's after 2 overs, 12 without loss. And Melius might have find himself a bit lucky.
Very much so, Charlo. But at 12 after the first 2, just 6 runs per over. Sort of a mild start, if you can put it like that, from the 2 openers here from the Windward Islands Volcanoes. And they will certainly want to get the pace on. You don't want to have a situation later on down where you have a required run rate of 12 and 13 and 14 plus. Yes, of course, we know that there's some big hitters to come for the Windward Islands Volcanoes, but that start is so very much important in terms of immediately putting the opposition on that back foot.
Definitely, and they would want to, these two would want to do that. Both St. Lucians, they should know each other well, and would really want to put a good start on the cards for the Windwards so that the others can build on.
Sampal this time to bowl to Melius, and he's back in defense, just pushing it back up along the pitch. And no run resulting, 13 for no loss in this over number 3. So the ICC trophy, of course, here in St. Vincent and Grenadines arrived yesterday at the Argyle International Airport. Today was on the windward side of the island.
Well, in fact, prior to the start of the game, they had passed through for viewing and so they were on the field for a while.
Work through the mid-wicket area, and it's going to get close to that fence. Let's see if the fielder can pick it up. No, he can't. So that's 4 well-taken runs there by Melius, well-timed.
Yeah, I think you do get value for your shots here at Park Hill. That was sweetly timed, and it raced over the outfield. 2 fielders trying to converge, but it went between both of them and across the ropes and into the fence for 4. That's the second boundary for Melius. So he would want to continue the good works for the Windward Islands.
So Sampal back to the top of his mark. And some 12 runs off his overs just of hard. This one, and there was Melius looking to come down, but this one was dug in even shorter, and it jumped at him, giving him absolutely no chance. And good work there by Sampal.
Yeah, good thinking on the part of Sampal. Saw him moving, and he banged it in a bit short. Good bounce, good carry, and Melius had to watch it go by and taken cleanly by the keeper standing back. So good carry for the keeper. Surface had been very, very true. And the bounce, the pace, and certainly is the sort of surface that you can play through the line. And once he's up in the slot, Melius, I'm sure, will go with it.
This one is down the leg side and will be signaled wide. It is signaled wide. And 1 more to the total, 18 now for no loss in this, the 3rd over. I believe 2.3 deliveries thus far. And Sampal
losing his radar.
Yes.
A bit.
Talking about losing the radar, we've lost a bit of the sunshine, but certainly that has not affected conditions here at Park Hill, as Sampal with that number 10 on his back outside the off stump and taking the pace off of that one, Sampal. And Melius was somewhat seemed to be caught in two minds there. He eventually just poked at it and pushed it calmly into the offside.
Well, he certainly was deceived by a well-bowled slow delivery there by Sampal. And Melius looked to tap it into the offside on the bounce to the keeper, who didn't collect it cleanly, but there's still no run.
So here comes Sampal. Outside the off stump and driven square. That's 4 well-taken runs, but I believe Irie felt he should have done a little bit better there.
He definitely should have done better. Yeah, he would be disappointed. So too is Sampal. I think he was looking at the bounce, didn't get the body behind it, and it went past him and into the fence.
So 4 more runs to the total, 22 without loss. And we are just about 1 more delivery remaining in this, the 3rd over. As right arm over the wicket. And again, oh, that was well placed. Down to 3rd man there from Melius, showing his class.
Definitely, I think that's the shot of the morning. He waited on it and he placed it. Rather than looking for power, he looked for placement. And it was really a gem.
So 26 after the first 3 overs, going at 8 runs per over. And these two at the wicket, especially Captain Melius, who's on 20, they're now stepping up the scoring rate here for the Windward Islands as they chase the target of 180.
I recall Melius at the under-19 level at Cumberland and played a blistering innings of 100. I think it was against Jamaica. He really took the bowlers to all parts of the ground. And you saw that talent in the young man. And here he is at the Windward's level, regional level, and really now proving his worth.
Well, we're going to be having some spin from the northern end, and replacing Pratis will be Rajbansi. Hope my pronunciation is correct. Will be coming into bowl to Ogis, and slow left arm over the wicket. So left arm off spinner. Comes in now to bowl to Ogis. And was beaten outside the off stump and had his foot grounded. But the wicketkeeper didn't take it, so any possible stumping went through the window as far as that is concerned. So August looking quite tentative there. And Lalit Rajbasi comes in now. This one he tucks nicely off the hip onto that short fine leg position and gets off to another run. 3 now to his total, and 27 the score for the Windward Islands in the 4th over.
So there's room to the right-hander. Let's see how he will, what sort of line hander was on the for the right-hander.
So Captain Melius settles on weight. And this one he hikes high, hard. That's going to go all the way over long off. That's 6 runs. And well taken shot there by Melius. He was to the pitch a bit very quickly indeed, and went through with the shot. Long over, long off, Jalo.
Well, he's showing his class, he's showing his intent. And that was tossed up and he lifted it over long off. Who had some interest in it, but in the end, just watched it sailed over his head and over the ropes for 6.
So Melius is on to 26 as Lalit comes in. This time he just pushes it into the offside very quietly. Fielder comes around, picks up. Total remains on 33 without loss. The Windward Islands Volcanoes. It's been a measured start, but of course Melius has been aggressive at times. And wrapped on the bad pad, going back there, and not out says umpire. Loud appeal.
Seems to be going down the leg. Butler, experienced umpire,
Former West Indies.
player,
Yes.
left arm fast medium bowler.
Lalit. This time punches into that point position. Fielder is there to cover. That's the end of over number 4, and at the end of it, it is 33 without loss. The Windward Islands going to just over 8 runs per over, and in this the early overs, not a bad
Bad start, and I think that in this over, Lalit, who had been struck for 6, but I think he came back very good in the end. Really tightened it up and not giving Melius that opportunity to lift him over the top. Most of the deliveries after that had to be played off the back foot.
Yes. So let's see how things are going to continue. We had Sampal who started, but spin now being introduced from this to the southern end. So Captain Rohit Padal looking to slow things down. Looks as if it's
like Airy. Yes.
Napindra Singh Airy coming out of Ogis, and Ogis gets one wide outside the off stump. That's very wide indeed. And Airy not off to the kind of start that Captain Padel would like to see. Tucks away at his sleeves, and are now coming to bowl once again. And that was short outside the off stump wide, and August should have really and truly done better with that one.
Well, he hit it straight to backward point.
So 34 without loss, and this is the 4th over. After deliveries already bowled in this one, as Irie comes into Ogis, and Ogis, well, that was uppishly, and